Good morning, students. Welcome back to your computer lecture. We will continue from where we stopped in the last lecture. So I request all the students kindly be ready with their workbook and a pencil as well. A quick recap before we begin. In the last lecture we covered about introduction to Internet. We saw the various elements and the types of network, like personal area network, local area network, metropolitan area network, wide area network. We also looked at the working of Internet, the protocols, the rules and regulations, right, and the language involved. So we will continue further and understand. So let us begin. Page number 33. Topic: Gateway and ISP. I'm sure we are ready by now. Let us read. Gateway and ISP. VSNL, Videsh Sanchar Nigam Limited. Here it's a typing error, students. It's typed as Videsh Samachar Nigam Limited. However, VSNL stands for Videsh Sanchar Nigam Limited. Okay. So VSNL provided the gateway for Internet. Here gateway means a channel through which Internet came to India. First time it was done by VSNL. So how did Internet, the evolution of Internet began in India? It's through VSNL, Videsh Sanchar Nigam Limited, is the gateway which evolved or started Internet in India. ISD is the abbreviation for, it's ISP, again it seems to be a typing error. ISP is the abbreviation for Internet Service Provider, ISP. Earlier it was only VSNL, but nowadays there are many ISP like MTNL, BSNL, Hathway, Reliance, Airtel provide access to network, but VSNL is their gateway also. So VSNL is the gateway. Now we have other ISPs like Internet Service Providers like MTNL, BSNL, Hathway, Reliance, Airtel. These are all service providers. However, they still need to take lines from VSNL. VSNL is the gateway. Let's look at Internet and common tasks done on Internet. As we discussed, Internet is a global collection of computers connected to each other to share information and thought. Once you are connected to Internet, you can do many things like chatting, emailing, e-learning, e-teaching, e-commerce, etc. But before that, let's learn about some terms which are used very commonly when we are on Internet. Okay, so before we know that there are various uses of Internet. Right? Apart from the ones mentioned like chatting, emailing, e-learning, e-teaching, e-commerce, these are all various uses of computers, various fields where computers are used. E stands for electronic. The works which we do physically are the physical work, and work which we do electronically, the short form is E. E-learning, e-teaching. Right, so let's try to understand what are the basic terms, a few of the terms used in Internet language or in the Internet world. First one is web. Web is technically a part of Internet, also known as www or W3, which stands for absolutely right. World Wide Web. It's simply an interface and consists of pages. Here page means a file, means collection of information. www is a collection of billions of such pages. www is a collection of related pages, is also known as website. Anyone can create his or her own website and you can store information which you want to share with everyone. What is web? Web, as the term explains, it's a collection of various resources, consists of various websites, web pages. As we have all seen, the spider's web, how it is neatly, it's huge and it's neatly tied on the strings are knitted so precisely. Something similar, web also consists of all this web pages, collection of all the websites, web pages, resources. Billions of such pages are collected at this one place, which is known as web. www is again, whenever we search for a website, whenever we are looking for a website, we type in or we begin with www. That stands for World Wide Web. So whatever information you may be looking for, the collection of this websites will look around and will give you the information accordingly. Now, a website can be created by anybody unless we have the knowledge or the understanding or the skills how to develop a website. So once you learn computers, you advance yourself, you can become a website designer or a developer. I want you all to take a look at this picture, students. As we were talking about the gateway, you see the orange box. It's in between the internet and the computer. So it is like the gatekeeper, which is helping us to gain access to and fro, like in and out. Right. Before we go there, let's also look at some uses of internet. Right. It helps us to electronic mail, research, online banking and trading, education, cashless transactions, online booking and orders, real-time updates, advertising, navigation, file transfer, entertainment, e-commerce. Right? These are various uses of internet or the various fields where internet is used. Page number 34, web server. Web server. This is the place where information are stored in the form of web page. What is a web page? A specific file having information consists of any type of data, say text, sound, wave. So a web page is nothing but it's a specific file of a specific user which contains information about their type, what are they all about, what are their business all about, their information. And all these web pages are stored on a web server. Right? As web server says, it's a place where information are stored in the form of web pages. So whenever a website developer is designing a website, he builds it on a web page, page-wise, which are known as web page. As we have in a notebook comprises of several pages. Similarly, a website also contains several web pages, and these websites or web pages are stored on web server. Let's see what is a web address. To access a particular website, to communicate on net, special address is given. Last three letters tell whom the address belongs, like .com stands for commercial, .edu stands for education. So a web address, as we stay in a physical home, we have an address or the address of that particular house. Similarly, every website has a web address as to how to locate the website or how to reach that particular website or that particular web page. As we have pin codes to determine the specific area of a region or a location, similarly, even websites or web addresses have a domain name. This .com or .edu are known as domain name. Like we have postal codes or pin codes in computers, these are known as domains. So few domain names like .com, .edu, .org, which stands for organization, .net, .gov. These are few other examples of domain names. Let's see what is a URL. Each web page has an address known as Uniform Resource Locator. A URL is written, then no space is left in between, and one can use / in it. So URL is a Uniform Resource Locator. Like we can say landmark or an identification of an address. Right? So each address is also known as URL, Uniform Resource Locator. What is browsing the web? Browsing the web means to access program. Windows provide a browsing application, that is Internet Explorer. To access Internet Explorer, just double click its icon on desktop or access through program. Once you open Internet, it displays the web page. So browsing the web is nothing but surfing the Internet or that particular website, a platform which is used to surf the Internet or browse the Internet. What browsing means is to access program. Windows is to access a program, right? Any particular program. So once you double click on Internet Explorer is a feature or it's an application provided by Windows by default. So once you double click on the Internet Explorer icon, it will take you through the web page. Now that web page or the landing page, once you open Internet Explorer or any specific browser, is known as the home page. Let's see what home page is. Home page, the web page which opens first every time when you start Internet, is called home page. Right? As soon as you open Internet Explorer or any web browser like Google Chrome, Safari, Mozilla Firefox or Opera in cell phones usually. So whatever the home page or the landing page comes the first time, it's known as a home page. Home page are also known as the landing page. As soon as you open the web browser, the landing page or the home page gets displayed. Let's see what is chatting. As we know, this is the best way of communicating. Internet made it possible to chat to anybody wherever in the globe the person is, on whichever topic you want. Different internet services have their own chat room like rediff.com, Yahoo, Gmail. They all have chat room and you can communicate. So chatting is nothing but it's a feature which is again provided by the internet service providers, which helps you to communicate with each other anywhere in the world with the help of text or messages. One common example, Facebook Messenger. Right? Earlier we had Orkut, which was a chatting platform. Then came Facebook, which provides Facebook Messenger, helps us to chat. Now the trending one is WhatsApp. We can chat on WhatsApp with any person in the world in our contact list. Right? These all help us to communicate with each other in the form of text. Let's take a look at few browsers. These are web browsers which helps us to connect to internet. The E with a circle or with a ring, Internet Explorer. With the compass, Safari. Earth with a fox, which is Mozilla Firefox. Google Chrome, Opera. These are few examples of web browser. And as we were looking at web page, web address, URL, I have one example of your school itself. divinelifehighschool.org. So as soon as you type in this URL or the web address, divinelifehighschool.org, it will take you to the landing page, or the page that you see is also known as the home page. And you can browse through different sections. Okay? Here is an example. I've just taken a screenshot of various activities performed in school. So this is how you navigate or browse through the website. We have best of teachers taking care of these activities, right? Let's continue further. Email, e-commerce, e-learning, e-teaching. Do not surprise by letter E in front of very identical words. Here E is electronic, and by now you know very well for computer electronic is binary. So when we are doing trading using computer, remember Sky Shop or Teleshop on TV, or doing any kind of shopping on internet, that is known as e-commerce. So what is e-commerce? E-commerce is nothing but doing a shopping online. And as we discussed earlier, do not confuse yourself with the word E. E is a representation of electronic form. Like email. Like earlier we used to send letters. The online feature became email. We used to do trading, buying and selling of goods, things, products. It became online, it turned to be e-commerce. Now we are doing is e-learning, right? E-learning, e-teaching. So here we have an example of Sky Shop or Teleshop on television. We all may have seen this telebrands, right? Now the famous, we all know Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, these all are e-commerce merchants which helps us to do our shopping, buy groceries or various other products over the internet. So this entire process or this business is called as e-commerce. Similarly, when you are sending mail through computer, any message or receives then, it is called email. E-learning and e-teaching are when computers are used for distant learnings and teachings. Right. Self-explanatory. When you're sending mail, like I discussed earlier, like I told you, when we send letters electronically, it's known as email. when we're sending any message, like WhatsApp chat that we're doing, is e-chatting or chatting on the internet. And we are doing e-learning, e-teaching. That helps us. That is like distant learning. And due to the pandemic, we have learned this new technology of e-learning and e-teaching. So these are the features or benefits of internet and the computer. Students, I request, do not get confused or overwhelmed by the hi-fi words or technical words. We all have experienced this practically. We all just need to understand the terms and terminologies as to what they are called in computers world or computers technology. Now, since we learned about e-commerce, let's continue further with email. When you are sending message via internet through computer is known as email. It is very similar to the mail that we get through post office by postman. Same concept is here. The mail you want to send is put in outbox from where postman collects, and what you receive comes to your inbox from where you collect. But mail is very time consuming and expensive, whereas email is fastest and free of cost. Anyone can have his or her email account. Like how do we have postal address? For that you have to have an email ID which is unique for everyone, and that allows you to access to mail server, and you have to give a password to log into it. Email server is a computer which receive and send email for every user. There are many mail servers like Yahoo Mail, Gmail, Rediff Mail, Hotmail, etc. So email, again, to explain in short, which we have already covered, it's nothing but the electronic format of sending mails, letters, in the form of text, images, voice, audio, clips. In earlier days, we used to drop in our letters in the letter box. The postman used to collect the letters, take it to the post office, and then as per the required or desired destination, they used to deliver it to that specific address. Similarly, even in email, we need to have an email ID which is unique for everyone. Like we have address, we need to write to, from, and then the body, the content of the message. Similarly, to send an email over internet, we need to have an email ID. And as we create an email ID, it needs to be password protected. There are various service providers like email service providers, Yahoo Mail, Gmail, Rediff Mail, etc. etc. In your textbook, there is an image of Gmail, how it looks like. As you can see, the pictorial format of the Gmail homepage. It may not be clear. However, this is the sign-in page. Like once you're signed in, once you log into once you have created your ID password, and with the help of your ID password, once you log in, this is how your Gmail will look like. I have an example for you. Like if you're trying to create an email account, you can simply type Gmail, and then it will help you to, if you already have a Google account or a Gmail ID, then you can directly sign in, or you can create an account. In the center left, you have create account. That's where you click and you can create your Gmail account. Students who have PC at their homes, you can practice, or you can do a hands-on practice to see and understand. And the ones who don't have PC at home, don't worry, try it with your cell phone, try it on cell phone and see how the page looks. Let's understand what are the elements of an email window on page number 35. Elements of an email window. So the first element is the inbox. The mail you received are stored. Inbox, as the word itself says, in, it's a box which stores the incoming messages. Outbox, the mail you composed and want to send. Sent item, the copy of mail one has sent. Outbox is the place where whenever we send a message, before it is successfully sent, it stays in outbox. There could be error due to no connection. If the message is not sent, it will stay in the outbox. Once the email is successfully sent, it goes to the sent items. It's a place where the copy of the email stays. Compose mail allow you to access mail from to write a new mail. So compose is again you are creating new message. So compose mail will give you a space to write a new message. From is your email address to email address of person whom you are sending mail. Even when we used to send letters, we have to provide this, or we had to provide this. Even if you write a letter to someone right now, we will have to provide this information physically. Who is the sender, who will be the receiver, and what is the message that you want to communicate. And there will be someone who will carry that message or that letter to the desired person. Similarly, in emails, we need to, from, the subject, the topic of mail. Now, there is something which is CC, address of person whom you want to send the copy of mail. Now, here comes one of the biggest advantage of using emails. One of the drawback in physical letters or physical mail, that if you want to send the same message to multiple peoples or different peoples or various other persons, then we have to write that letter multiple times, number of times, or the number of people involved. In emails, we can send the same message to multiple people at the same time with the help of this feature known as CC, which stands for carbon copy. We're sending the original email to a person, a desired person. We can alternatively or simultaneously send it to other people, including them in CC. There is one more feature which is known as BCC, which stands for blind carbon copy. Now, what the difference here is, in CC, whoever receives the email will be able to see who all received the email. Like if there is one person or two person or three people, the number of people involved in receiving these messages will be able to see who those, or identify who those people are. In blind carbon copy, the email shoots directly and you won't be able to see who are the other people involved. Subject is the topic of mail, message, area where you write actual message or want to put or attach with the help of email. You can send any type of data, even pictures, songs, etc. We have tried this on WhatsApp itself. Apart from sending text messages, we also have the option to share images, videos, pictures, right? Multiple things. Similarly, in email, there is a feature known as attachment, which helps us to attach our documents, files, folders, videos, audios, anything that we may want to send it to the receiver. HTML, Hypertext Markup language. This is the language which is used to write web pages and in creating websites. So HTML is the language, as we discussed earlier. This is the language which is used to design the web pages. Now there are various other languages like C, C++, Java. These are other languages which help us to design the web pages or create websites. FTP, File Transfer Protocol. This helps to transfer and receive the data from remote computers. For that, you have given host address, computer which you want to connect, then computer asks for your password. And once password is given, computer gets connected and one can transfer the data. FTP is File Transfer Protocol. If you want to share files, like on ShareIt, as we have used this application, or we are aware of this application to share files between two cell phones. Earlier we used to use Bluetooth. Then nowadays we are using ShareIt and various other applications. Similarly, in computers, if you want to transfer any file transfer protocol helps us. And this is done with the help of username and password. Like if you try to relate in ShareIt also, we have this QR code to scan, or it asks us for a permission. Similarly, in order to connect or to transfer files from one computer to the other, we need an ID password. Take a look at this picture. These are the elements of an email window. At the very top we have compose, and in the same line towards the right we have spin icon, which is attachment. The arrow pointing towards right is to send. Then we have from, to, subject, and the content, the body of the message, compose email. So with this we end our chapter, Introduction to Internet, wherein we covered what is Internet, network, the types of network, and how the Internet works. What are the working of the Internet, the features, and the services provided over the Internet, like email service and various other services. I once again remind the students to kindly underline the words or the sentences as seen in the video and write them in your notebook. I will send you all your notes. Request you to kindly write them in a neat and clean handwriting. And until our next lecture, stay healthy and stay safe. Thank you very much, students. Thank you for your time. Have a nice day.